Patrick Mahomes is on the cusp of playing in his fifth finals in the last 6 seasons. That is something that has not been accomplished in the National Football League since the Giants in the late 50s and early 60s. And if Mahomes does it, he will once again shut out Josh Allen from reaching the big game, the same thing he did to Lamar Jackson a year ago. This is a level of one-sided dominance that we have never seen in the NFL. If you think about it, even during Tom Brady's reign, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Big Ben, Aaron Rodgers, all of them won championships. What Patrick is doing transcends football. It reminds me of another GOAT who used to wear red and white. Michael Jordan won 6 titles in the 90s and stunted the legacies of the other great players of his time. To quote Chris Berman, I remember because I was there. Let's start with Charles Barkley. He was an 11-time All-NBA player. He was the MVP of the league in '93 on a Suns team that won a league-high 62 games. That was his best chance to win a championship. But he ran into Michael. And in the finals, Jordan set a record by averaging 41 points a game. Charles would never appear in the finals again. Then there's Patrick Ewing. He had a 15-year career with the Knicks, and he was tremendous. But Ewing never won a championship because he was in the same conference as Jordan. They met 5 times in the playoffs. Jordan won all 5. In '92, the Knicks forced a Game 7. Michael scored 42 points. In '93, the Knicks won 60 games. Jordan came back from 2-0 down to win the series. And then probably the biggest legacy that Jordan rewrote was Karl Malone. 2-time MVP. His 14 All-NBA selections are the most of any player without a championship. But of course, in the 2 years he made the finals with Utah, he ran into Michael. The flu game in '97, the buzzer beater in '98. He lost both finals because Jordan was just something that neither Malone, nor Ewing, nor Barkley could ever match. So, on Sunday, we will see if Allen can break through, have his 2006 Peyton Manning moment. If he does, then maybe this whole conversation changes. But if he doesn't, then one of the most prolific winners in the history of sports will continue to add to his legacy, while his team of rivals will just have to continue to wait for theirs. That's this week's final point. Guys, what do you think? So,
well done.
The point on this isn't what Brady did. It isn't about whether he's greater than Brady or not. He perhaps has a little ways to go to get there. But what he is doing, by doing it in this compressed time, it sort of reminds me of Jordan and of Tiger Woods, which is an analogy that I think Dan will appreciate. That other greats of that era, who might otherwise have been remembered as greats, will not be remembered as so because they had the unfortunate timing of playing during his heyday. And one wonders if Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and others will wind up suffering the same fate, right?
Yeah, I mean, Patrick's done it to a bunch of them. Patrick has muted their greatness, not intentionally, but the reality is he's muted their greatness or their own potential legacy moments because how great he has been. And to think that he is doing this in an era where it's actually set up for you to be incapable of doing it because of the salary, I think elevates it even to a different level. And what we're watching in this evolution of a quarterback as well. You talk about Tiger Woods. I'm a massive Tiger Woods fan. When he changes his swing in the middle of being the best golfer in the world, you're going, why are you changing your swing? Because there's always something more. We've watched Patrick Mahomes go from 55 touchdowns to, no, I'm going to change the style of play that I play with because that's what's necessary to win. The way he carries himself, the way he handles himself, the way that he talks within the media on top of his play makes him certainly in the conversation greatest of all time.
So I think that's the best part about it when you watch Patrick Mahomes. Seeing how he's grown throughout the years, right? And changing what he has to be for his organization, for the Kansas City Chiefs. Learning how to be the quarterback with the personnel that you have surrounding you. A lot of people thought when Tyreek Hill left that it was going to go downhill. No, he figured out that, you know what? I can't be the quarterback I was with Tyreek Hill. I need to understand how I need to quarterback this team right now when we don't have the bona fide skill position players. Still has his number 1 in Travis Kelce. But these pivotal runs that you're seeing right now, that's been a part of his legacy and attached to it as well when it comes to playoff football. And if you're the Buffalo Bills, watch out for it because Patrick Mahomes is known for having one in a big game throughout the playoffs.
It makes me feel fortunate that I was able to get to a Super Bowl before the ascension of him in 2018, right? Where you look back and like, well, we got him before he really got going. But I think it's just truly remarkable what he's been able to do because you mentioned all those other names, and we look at, even when you're keeping the basketball comparison, the dominance of a LeBron LeBron James, but even while LeBron is dominating, Steph Curry gets a championship and other guys get a chance to chime in. So this Mahomes era where you would expect, well, there's probably a year where he doesn't go to the point of a Peyton Manning, but he hasn't relinquished any of that. And I think that's the fun thing because he started as the young kid on the rise to now everybody is hating and wishing for the downfall, and he's done it all so graceful.
There aren't a lot of athletes that we've watched over time, and you pointed out, Michael Jordan, that when you watched them, you knew they were going to find a way to come out on top.
Yep.
Michael Jordan was that way. Tom Brady was that way.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes is that way. And so now this is Josh Allen's chance, his chance this time to take a shot to stop that.
Yep.
And it's the Chiefs' chance to do something that we've never seen before. We have not seen any football team win 3 Super Bowls in a row ever. As Hembo pointed out, the last team to three-peat in football was the 1965-67 Packers. They did it with up to 16 teams in the league when they had to win 7 playoff games over 3 years in an era where there was no salary cap. Patrick Mahomes is so great that the salary cap that's designed to neutralize the playing field has become irrelevant to them. That they just keep winning over and over. And now we see whether he can do that again and continue to be like Jordan and Brady, or whether Josh Allen can rise up in a way that Patrick Ewing and Karl Malone and some of these other players could not.
I mean, you guys have been around longer than us. Like, when was the last time an AFC Championship game had this much weight on it? Like, it had this big of a deal?
They are everywhere.
To some degree last year, right? I mean, it was Patrick and Lamar.
Every year.
I mean, he
But
keeps beating
Patrick
these
wasn't on the verge of
guys.
history last year.
Hey, there have been 2 quarterbacks, 2, that have beaten Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. Tom Brady and Joe Burrow.
Right.
That's it. Nobody else has ever beaten him in the playoffs. So Josh Allen, step on up. Like, this is his chance to go do it.
This is one of the more amazing things. Since Mahomes became the starter in Kansas City, this is his 7th year. He's been in the AFC Championship, 7th straight, in 7 years. He has never lost in regulation in the AFC Championship game. The earliest he's ever been knocked out was overtime of the AFC Championship game, once by Burrow, as you point out, and once by Brady.
Greeny, that's why I laugh at people when they say, okay, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, they've had 20-something days off. So? This is the standard in the National Football League. Oh, the offense doesn't look explosive as it used to. So? When the game's on the line and Patrick Mahomes has the football, I'm pretty sure if you're a fan of the opposing team, you're pooping bricks.
Well, look, that's a good way to put it.
A little bit more fiber.
Look, the reality of it is 4 Super Bowls is Montana and Bradshaw. Yep. And the only one ahead of that is Brady. And none of them ever won it 3 times in a row. This would be 4 for Mahomes and 3 in a row. So, look, there will be a legitimate conversation. We're getting way ahead of ourselves. Because he's got to win Sunday, and then he would have to win again 2 weeks from Sunday. But there will be legitimate conversations to be had about just how close he becomes to being the greatest of all time as quickly as that. Legitimate conversations to have. In the meantime.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just wanted to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. I also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.